Here we go. We're ready to go with our middleweight battle. Andrey Semenov taking on Jorge Santiago.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Bodog Fight as we present to you the class of the nations. Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is your middleweight division, scheduled for 3 rounds. And introducing first, he will be fighting tonight from the red corner on the staging area. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in at 186 fighting pounds. With a professional record of 12 victories and 7 defeats, he tonight fights from the red, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, by way of Brazil. Introducing Jorge Santiago.
Дамы и господа, Bodog Fight представляет вам бой в средневесовой весовой категории. И в красный угол ринга я приглашаю 26-летнего бойца. Его рост 186 сантиметров, его вес 84,4 килограмма. Его профессиональный год 12 побед, 17 поражений. Из форта Лодердейл, Флорида, Jorge Santiago.
Jorge Santiago, one of the many prides of the American top team, an expert in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but this guy trains Muay Thai with Wali Muhammad, a 5-time world Muay Thai champion who's a product of Holland, where they breed the best Thai boxers in the world. I know it sounds funny, but the best Thai boxers do come from Holland. The aforementioned Peter Arts being one of them, so expect either stand-up or ground fighting. Santiago said he really doesn't care what range this fight ends up in.
He's a seasoned vet for you too, Jeff, isn't he, of hook and shoot?
He started with hook and shoot, and now he's brought it all the way here to Bodog Fight.
His opponent stands on the staging area at this time. 29 years of age, he stands 6 feet even. He tipped the scales at 185 fighting pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, with an impressive mixed martial arts record of 25 big wins, 8 defeats, and 2 draws. Welcome to the ring at this time from St. Petersburg, Russia. Introducing Andrey Semenov.
Дамы и господа, спортсмену, который поднимется в черный угол ринга, 29 лет. Его рост 183 сантиметра и вес 83,9 килограмма. Его профессиональный рекорд 25 побед, 8 поражений, 2 ничьи. Дамы и господа, счастлив представить вам из Петербурга, Россия, Andrey Semenov.
Andrey Semenov, young in years, but an old man in this sport. His experience goes back to bare-knuckle Vale Tudo fights in Brazil, and recently the story of his career has been his unbelievably improved striking game. Jorge has said that he doesn't care where this fight goes, but I will bet you that he tries to stress the grappling game, because when you watch Semenov open up with his fist, your jaw will literally drop.
Semenov considered the best Russian middleweight. Now you take a look at the tail of the tape. 3 years older is Semenov at 29 to 26. He's an inch shorter. He's a pound lighter. He's 3 inches shorter than Santiago, but he's got a lot of experience. He's fought for all of the major organizations. Now he adds Bodog Fight to his resume. We're just about set to go. Sean Bruckmull is in there giving the final instructions, our 3rd man in the ring. By the way, Sean is the assistant commissioner to Bodog Fight.
You ready?
To our man, Jeffrey Osborne. Here we go, round 1. Semenov in black, and in the camouflage is Santiago from St. Petersburg, Russia. Semenov likes to start fast.
You see Semenov inching forward, looking to get into the pocket there and open up with his fist. A wild right hand from Santiago. But like I said, the first time Semenov flurries, you're going to be amazed at what you see.
Well, when he closes the gap, he better be throwing or he'll be counted by Santiago. But Semenov is a great stand-up fighter. He's trying to close the gap a little bit as Santiago tries to jab him off a little bit.
And Santiago showing that Muay Thai experience by hacking a brutal leg kick into the left thigh of Semenov. He's going to want to make sure not too many of those land.
Well, Santiago would like to take it down if he can because his strength is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Here they are in the clinch game now. Nice inside kick there, knee to the midsection of Semenov. Another one.
You know, if there's one thing that's vastly improved in Semenov's game, it is that hand speed. Earlier days when I've seen this guy fight, he had slow hands, but we saw him against Trevor Prangley back at the last pay-per-view. They were lightning fast, and they were definitely some of the most furious punching skills I've seen in a long, long time.
He's got that, but he still makes that mistake of when he's closing the gap, he's not throwing when he's coming in, and he can be counted. But if you're throwing up punches, it doesn't make any difference.
Well, remember, this isn't boxing, too, and sometimes you can overextend yourself if you're throwing coming in. Your opponent has to stay guessing as well. If you come in without throwing, you might be shooting for a takedown as well.
Yeah, for sure. The clinch game continues, maneuvering for position, and Sean Brockmole separates him, puts him back in the center of the ring. Well, I really like that about mixed martial arts. When it gets dull, right back with the right hand. Wow. So Santiago showing his boxing skills.
And Santiago showing that he's not scared of the striking skills of Semenov either.
Well, you were right, Paul, when he threw that wild right in. Like I was suggesting, he dipped and grabbed him and tried to take him to the canvas. So you're so right. You're really going to watch everything here in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, Semenov sprawling and having an excellent sprawl there to shut down the double leg takedown. Getting back to his feet. And once again, these fighters still made it in the clinch.
This is a big part of it. Maneuvering for position. When they get in here, they can't do much. They'll get into a scramble sometimes. Or, again, the referee, Sean Brockmole, if he doesn't like what he's seeing, he will separate them.
Yeah, I'm worried about Semenov here. When he reaches under, he exposes his face to the knee of George Santiago. I hate to see him eat a knee because Santiago will eventually see that.
Well, he's got to push right up against the ropes. It'd be hard to get that off right now, Jeff, but we'll look for that.
Off the ropes.
Nice sprawl to keep control in the clinch game. There's so much strategy here that you really have to learn to know what these guys are doing. It's more than what appears. Look at this. Trying to get position. Gets the knee up in there, and Sean separates and puts him back in the center of the ring.
Santiago looking so relaxed at this point. Really looking like he's got Semenov's number in the clinch, but having to stay very vigilant at this range right here.
You have to wonder why Semenov hasn't opened up with his strikes in the stand-up position, and we didn't have to wonder long. Loads up the shot, and down they go.
Semenov's going to have to be careful right here because Santiago's game off his back is excellent, but Semenov raining down the hammer fist, and this place is going nuts.
The thunder is raining is right. Santiago taking some punishment. The damage being
armbar. Semenov literally standing up and wrenching his arm free of that fully extended armbar.
Wow.
And it's Semenov who's fully mounted. And we are seeing serious offense here by Semenov, who had a slow start in this first round.
He might have been slow in the first 3 minutes, but he sure picked it up in the 4th minute. These are 5-minute rounds as the thunder continues to come down in the full mount position. And you see the way Santiago trying to defend himself with his forearm, trying to grab an arm. The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialists love to grab an arm, see if he can get him in some sort of barrel lock. You see him grabbing that arm?
Semenov setting up the straight armbar, but Santiago wise to his tricks. How crazy would that have been to see Semenov armbar, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu expert?
Semenov every once in a while looks like he wants to go with an elbow and he catches himself.
And we see the education of the modern mixed martial arts crowds as they go crazy every time Semenov steps across. With seconds left in this round, Semenov makes one last attempt at the armbar. He gets it extended.
The round is over.
I would say saved by the bell, but Santiago with freakish flexibility actually managed to rotate out of the danger zone. Unbelievable first round.
He had that arm stretched right out there.
And here we see Semenov trying to wade in with those hand strikes, but Santiago literally pulling guard. yanking Semenov down to the mat so he can work his jiu-jitsu game. Semenov, however, having none of it with some brutal ground and pound in the form of hammer fists.
And he was in clear danger at the end. If it would have gone 5 seconds longer, Santiago could have lost it.
And here we see Semenov amazingly going for a submission on the submission master, getting the full extended arm lock. But we see Santiago with freakish joint flexibility, rotating backward and getting out of danger.
Absolute great job by Sean Brotmo to get in there so nothing happens at the end after the bell. Great job.
I was leaning towards Jorge Santiago, but clearly in the last minute and a half, Semenov stole that round, 10-9.
You got to go with the damage. I agree with that. Bodog travels around the globe to bring you the greatest fights. Bodog Fight. This is mixed martial arts at its best.
Man, so much has been emphasized by me in particular. Oh! Thunderous head kick lands on Semenov. How is he managing to stay lucid?
This is Santiago's kitchen right now. The old ground and pound, if he can get his hands free and keep them free.
You see Semenov hunting for a leg lock, but I don't think he's going to get it on a submission artist the caliber of Santiago. And now it's Santiago hammering down with ground and pound. Brutal right hands landing in succession. Semenov is in trouble.
Boy, he is exerting a lot of damage to this guy. But his eyes are totally clear. Half guard. Trying to slip around past the guy, but he can't get that leg up.
Well, I was just about to say that.
Now full mount!
Full mount it is, and now Santiago looking to create some space.
Watch the eyes, watch the eyes.
Semenov doing the right thing by grasping around the body of Santiago, trying to bridge and roll, but no dice.
He's keeping him under control.
Set up for an armbar now. This crowd cheering on Semenov to get out of dodge. The mouthpiece coming loose as Santiago takes the back of Semenov.
He's got the back. Can he get those hooks in there?
Hooks are in indeed, Colonel, and the transition ability of Jorge Santiago is unbelievable. Semenov constantly in trouble. This crowd going crazy as Santiago looks for an armbar.
This is unbelievable stuff. And he's totally giving up the back. Can he get that arm around there to rear naked him?
That was just simply standing up and trying to shuck Santiago loose is Semenov.
Rolling him up. Boy, this is tough stuff.
And now Semenov gets free. What can he do from this position?
Well, he's trying to improve it. Sort of a half guard.
Referee Sean Brockmole stepping in to put the mouthpiece of Semenov back in.
Notice he doesn't change the position, folks. Just slips it back in. Open guard. Can he create some distance? The backhander from Santiago. Semenov has got control.
What an unbelievable ground game by Santiago. He's really minimized the ground and pound of Semenov and amazingly has held his own and even pulled ahead in the striking game, in my opinion.
See if he can grab one of these arms and get some sort of lock on him. Pulls him close. He's got the right arm wrapped up. As the left hand rains terror down on him.
We see the action slowing a little bit as both athletes, specifically Semenov, have to be feeling the pace of this fight. Getting out of submission, staying out of danger, that takes it out of you.
3 minutes gone in the second round.
We see it looks like Santiago might be setting up an omoplata armbar.
That's his specialty, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Up kicks. Sean wants to stand him back up again. Did he get caught with a kick there? He's down taking a knee right now.
Semenov looking very fatigued indeed.
Well, he definitely took a knee. Let's see.
Santiago looking fresh as a daisy. Another huge head kick grazes over the head of Semenov.
Semenov got a black eye on the left side, and he walked into a right hand. That's staggering.
Who would have called it? Santiago with a huge uppercut, landing the better strikes in this second round.
Semenov is kind of hanging on because he is fatigued. He got hit with 2 good shots with the right hand. Power of Santiago.
You know, I think people vastly underrated Jorge Santiago in this fight. You know, this guy not only has the submissions, he's clearly showing that he has a fully rounded game.
Well, he's won fights by knockout, by TKO, as well as submission. That's well-rounded.
Obviously an apt pupil of his 5-time World Muay Thai champion teacher. Angle straight right. Unbelievable boxing combination.
Stop.
It's all over. Sean Brightwell has stopped it. I'm not quite sure what happened in there, but he took a lot of punishment, one of those shots.
Well, this crowd not happy with that stoppage at all. I mean, it was obvious that the pace of this fight was getting to Andrey Semenov, but surprising to many was Sean Brightwell's decision to step in at that particular point.
Well, he hit him with a big shot, and then Semenov shot and took him down, and then I don't know what happened after that.
Yeah, I heard Semenov's head just splat on the mat, and all the weight just went on Semenov's head. I mean, Sean Brightwell has a better view. Now, Sean is saying that he was knocked loopy. I don't know if a replay is going to show this or not.
Here we see solid right hand and a right uppercut, and the knees of Semenov buckle. He's driving forward. It's difficult to say, but there we see right there that Semenov actually was knocked a bit loopy in that he thought Sean Brightwell was in fact his opponent. Hard right uppercut ends that flurry. Semenov just moving on sheer guts at this point and instinct. You have to take your hat off to him for toughness. But you see here, as soon as some distance was created, tries to shoot a double leg on the referee, did not know where he was.
Watch the straight right hand, that sets it up, and then watch the uppercut. Bang, right there, the head snaps, down he goes, tries to shoot him down, and he does.
That's a very common thing. When a guy gets a flash knockdown, he'll often shoot for the first thing in front of him. We see a guy even taken down a ref before in the past several times.
Good call by Sean Brightwell. We'll have to make it official. Semenov is still over on the far side trying to gain his wits about him.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has put a stop to this match at the 4-minute, 28-second mark of round number 2. Your winner by way of technical knockout, Jorge Santiago.
Техническим нокаутом победу одержал Jorge Santiago.